What is going on, Toy Fam Lamb? Project Piper Customs here, and to quote Biff from Back to the Future, looky what we have here. Haha, we have waited so long for this, and finally we have it in hand. It is the Mezco Netflix Punisher. One batch, two batch, Penny, and mine. All mine. Let's go. Alrighty, Rude Toy Fam, let's not waste any more time and let's have a look at the box. Yes, it is a slipcover, but before we get into that, let's just have a look here. We've got the Punisher 112 Collective logo there. Have a look at all of this. This is what he's like. This is what he comes with. And of course, we have some promotional images themselves. Look at Mezco getting into their toy photography bag. Nicely done. And we have Punisher again, 112 Collective, and of course the badass skull on the front. It is in fact a slipcover, so let's unslip it now. Let's go. Okay, here we are, slipcover off, and in standard Mezco fashion we have the window and you can see everything and the figure inside. So let's not waste any more time, let's crack this bad boy open. Before we do, obviously there's two clamshells within each other. This one has a stand and the coat and the bits and bobs bag, and this one has everything else. So what are we waiting for? Let's go. And here he is, out of the box, ready to punish Netflix for cancelling the show. Okay, this is 100% a beautiful figure. Mezco knocked it out of the park with this, and I'm going to keep saying that throughout the entire review, as I've had a chance to have a little bit of a play, and I cannot fault it whatsoever. Okay, going over the deco, everything works, man. This thing is absolutely beautiful. They really did do well, which is surprising because I honestly felt like they dropped the ball with the Mezco, the Daredevil, on both the black suit and the full armored version. And I don't know, maybe that's why this one took a bit longer to come out. They just didn't want to disappoint with its release, and it doesn't in any way at all. So let's bring him closer and have a further look. Let's bring some light over. Hopefully my lamp cooperates. How's that? Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so going over the head sculpt. Now if that don't look like Shane from The Walking Dead, then you're blind. Nah, this is awesome. That really does capture John Barenthal's mean look, okay, with his military style haircut. Obviously throughout the season 2 of Daredevil and all the way through to season 2 of his own show, his hair goes from complete shaven all the way through until yeah, it grows. It gets a bit wild, but I think this medium sort of level where it's just got a bit on top and then shaved around the sides, I think this is a perfect look for him. So yeah, this really does work well. I've absolutely loved the Netflix version, Marvel Netflix version of the skull, and how they were going to tackle it. Having it being spray painted onto body armor was an extremely nice touch, rather than it be a t-shirt. I know they did that with the Ray Stevenson's Punisher Warzone, but you're so faint you could barely see the skull, you know. And so yeah, it was really nice touch, you know, touch towards the end of Daredevil season 2. We finally gets the skull, and yeah, starts kicking some ass. But yeah, absolutely brilliant. So love the design of the skull and the body armor. It's right there in your face, no questions asked. It has awesome fabric jumper, and I believe the body armor is removable. I haven't seen anywhere where it can unclip. I need to explore it a bit more. I'm not really interested in removing it myself. I'm always going to have it with a displayed with it on. But yeah, so we got the under jumper. And of course we've got a couple of belts, and that leads into these wicked cargo pants. And these don't look like they're like too loose fitting at all. They look perfect. They're meant to be baggy, and of course they tuck nicely into there's a bit of dust there, into his boots. Yeah, and it just all looks amazing. Let's look at the detail on this vest. They nailed it. Perfect. All the different colours, different textures. Superb. Absolutely 100% love this figure. Only downside is, and we'll get into that with Articulation, but I'll touch upon it now. It's not really a downside considering I don't own any of the comic ones. I missed out on all of them, and Punisher is my favourite comic book character. Not favourite superhero, favourite comic book character. But yeah, it's obviously one that comes attached with the neck. The head and neck are one piece. I would have liked for a separate head attachment, just so you could pop other heads on and pop this head onto a civilian body and whatnot. But at the end of the day, when it comes to toy photography, without any head like separation, it just blends straight into one. So it looks 10 times better. Taking pictures, of course, but for experimenting with some kit bashes and getting any other possibilities going, you're pretty much limited unless you've got a civilian body that has a similar style neck and peg system. But for now, it is a shame. So unfortunately, anyone looking to put the comic book head onto this body, unless you use what was it, Doctor Strange or one of the other Mezcos, if you have them, that has both a separate neck joint and a head, so you could pop that on and then pop the comic book head on. You are pretty much limited to yeah, this kind of style, I'm afraid. So anyway, but that is just a minor little gripe, and the only one, literally the only one, in terms of deco and style and construction of this figure. They absolutely destroyed it. Let's have a look at the back again. So look at this detail, man. This looks like a tactical body armor, bulletproof vest, and this belt is crazy. A little holster there for his gun and his combat knife. We'll go into that when we get into accessories, but for now, yeah, absolutely stunned and blown away by how well this came out. And I'm so giddy to get playing with this and get shooting. I've got so many ideas, and all I want to do is scratch this review and just get on with it. But for you guys, I will make sure I cover everything so you can make an informed decision, along with about 20 other reviews there are about of this guy, whether you want to pick him up. He seems to be available for now, but from what I can tell, in the UK, if you're looking to pick this up in the UK, get on it fast, because we only got a limited number that came into the country. So jump on it. And there's a rumor going around that Disney Plus may be reviving the Netflix shows over there in a couple of years' time. If that is the case, and Bernthal does return as the Punisher, and this figure is going to skyrocket in price in the secondary market, well, it ain't going to be fun, put it that way. So if you're looking to get him still and you're still on the fence, don't hesitate, get him now. I'm saying all this shit when it should be at the end of the video, but I'm saying to it now, so you don't have to wait around. Jump on this figure. And anyway, with that said, okay, let's move on and look at what he comes with. Okay, so jumping on to accessories, first thing I want to show you is, of course, the alternate head that he comes with. This is a battle damage version. As you can see there, he's beaten to shit. Alright, so let's bring it up close, get some better light on him. And yeah, really well detailed. 100%. Those abrasions look awesome. Okay, and that again is obviously one neck piece. Hairstyle is exactly the same, but the detail in the batteredness is wicked. All right, so, and this can just pop straight off, and you get a look at the peg there, and this one just obviously pops straight on, and there he is. All right, been through the wars after winning the war, because he ain't beating Punisher, but yeah, he ain't coming out unscathed either, but he can take it. So yeah, this is how the alternate head looks. So let's leave that on for the remainder of this segment, at least. Anyway, stand up, you bastard. There you go. What else does he come with? Oh, let's have a look at some hands. All right, so he comes with 2 fists out of the box, and then of course standard Mezco style majority of the time. We have 1, 2, 3 other pairs, so 4 pairs total. So we have a pair of relaxed open hands, okay, 1 for each side. We have a pair of sort of semi-cupping hands, so I'm not sure what you could get in here. What does he come with? Probably, oh, the knife. He comes with a knife, so I'll probably be able to hold the knife. So yeah, a couple of semi-open hands, and then of course you can't have a Punisher without 2 trigger fingers. Okay, let's swap those around. That's better. So yeah, there you go, 2 trigger fingers for his guns. Now, speaking of guns, okay, we have a revolver and of course a pistol. All right, so let's have a look at the revolver. There you go, 6 chamber, and the barrel does indeed spin. So if I can do it for you on camera. All right, it spins right round, right round. It doesn't pop out, you know, so you can see the ammo inside, but it does spin at least. All right, so that is a revolver. And of course for the pistol itself, this is really cool, standard Mezco fashion. They're pretty well detailed with the guns. The hammer does slide back, which is awesome. And of course the magazine does come out. Trust me not to be able to do it now on camera. And there you go, and you can see the bullet on top there, and you also get a spare one. Okay, so you get 2 mags just in case you lose one, and no doubt I will in the infinite abyss that is my floor. Okay, and then of course last in the weapons front, gun wise, you get, boom, Old Painless. Jesse Ventura would be proud to an extent. Now I have one little issue with this. For one, it's not the same minigun that was shown in the advertisements for Daredevil Season 2, and I'll show you a promo image of that now. Okay, and also, because of that promo image, we were convinced he will be using this minigun either at some point or towards the end of his appearance in Daredevil Season 2. And did he? No. You didn't, did you? Bad Frank. So no, that was indeed disappointing that we didn't get to see him use it. So I'm very curious as to why they packed him in with this one. I would have thought they were giving him a sniper rifle, which is the weapon he did end up using at the end of the show. Spoiler alert. Yeah, we honestly thought, if you have seen the show, when him and Daredevil, when him and Daredevil and Elektra are getting surrounded by the Hand, fighting for their life, we thought he'll come in and save the day by just literally murking every single one of them, like, and just taking them out. And he didn't. He went across the other roof and just went pew pew pew, see you around, Red, and then took off with his sniper rifle, which was very disappointing. But yeah, so very strange as to why they packed him in with the minigun. Either way, I'm not going to knock it. It's still a fabulous looking piece, even though it is the wrong kind of minigun. The chamber does spin round. All right, the Gatling does. Okay, so that's pretty awesome. Very well detailed, extremely well detailed. Okay, all the way through. But of course, in the one that used in the promo images, he has an attachment under here, and this one does not. But moving on from that, we do get a couple of blast effects, ones you've seen before. No stranger to these at all. Well, they are to me because I don't actually own a Mezco that came with one of these. This is the first time of me having this, which is pretty sweet. And of course, these do have a peg, and they do go in any one of these holes. All right. So you can capture the illusion of him firing multiple rounds at once. Alright, which is pretty awesome. And because it's translucent, it should, let me just get, it should pop with some underlighting at least. So let's kill a couple of lights and see how that looks. Alright, let's kill that one. It's already there, it's popping, you can see it. Kill that one, that should be enough. But yeah, so if you get some underlighting, and I always stress this, if you're using translucent effects within a toy shot, okay, it's always best to light from underneath or from anywhere that's out of sight. If you just do it straight on, it's not going to work. Okay, as you can see, it needs to come from the other side, and that way the glow, the ideal glow that these are trying to represent, will be captured. All right, so it's very hard, but it's also challenging and accomplishable. Okay, if you light the translucencies, lucent effects from underneath or from behind. As you can see, that's popping like a motherfucker right now. All right, so yeah, just a quick tip, but a very valuable one, because the amount of times I see people try and illuminate a translucent effects like lightning, and it just does not work. It won't work if you just light it up from the front. Always got to be from behind. And there you go, you can see it right in front of you. All right, this thing's just popping as if he's just firing it, you know. So it is doable, and that's tip of the day. So let's take that away. Pop the lights back on. Where are you? There you go, one. And there you go. Okay, so we have this one here, and then of course, one we've seen loads of times, and what I do own, your standard machine gun one. I wish I would stop adding the bullet, you know. Just give us a muzzle flash. It doesn't need to look like we're in fucking Matrix bullet time all the time, you know. But obviously it's just easy part to recycle, and that's the case here. So we get 2 of those. We also get a combat knife. Well, that's not a knife. There you go. Not real any paint to it apart from in the handle, which is quite nice, and it does fit nicely on his back. Is it going like that? Yeah. There you go, just slots in nicely on his back for storage, and his pistol into his holster. which I've yet to unpeg. No doubt this thing is going to be a pain in the arse on camera. Yeah, that's quite tight in there, but you get the idea. This will slip straight in. Okay, I don't want to break it. Also, oh, forgot to mention, obviously the minigun does come with a ammo belt, which I completely forgot about until just now. So you stay there, fist raised, and yeah, let's pop that out. And you can see there's space in the ammo belt for it. And we want to go for the capped, no, that's the capped end. And you want to go for the that end there, the raw end. Where are you gone? You disappeared on me. Go away, Frank. There you go. There you go. Frank's had enough already. So that slips in there. And yeah, can that just be left to dangle? Or if you've got one from the NECA Terminator that comes with a little shoulder bag, you can use that. There you go. Okay, that just completes the display. And can I stand up, you lazy fuck, because you're about to get dressed again. Because we're going to move on to the final, I'd say, accessory, and that is, of course, his coat. Alright, so let's bust this open and see what it looks like with this on. And this will complete the look he had from the end of Season 2, beginning of Season 1, and of course the very end of Season 2 again. Spoiler alert, but you know, if you ain't seen it by now, what's the matter with you? Okay, if you're a fan of this Punisher, you would have done by now. So let's pop the wrists off, because this is always better to get on. Let's actually take the knife out at the same time. That doesn't need to be in there. It's better to get the wrists off. It helps get the coat on. And put one sleeve in, get that all the way up. And then we want a bit, just fold that back a bit. And we want to get the other sleeve in. There you go. Send all that back a bit. Get that up. Bring the arms down so it can adjust itself. Alright, there you go. And the good thing about this coat is there is a bendy wire across the top here and in the lapels, and also down each seam. Alright, so if you don't want him looking like, you know, friggin' Elvis Presley or Prince, then you can just fold the collar down. There you go, get that nice and folded down. I can just tuck in, and there you go. He's got his coat, and what I like to do is I just bend it here and just bend it there, and that allows it to just drape open slightly. Okay, and he looks pretty badass. Let's get some trigger hands on him, shall we? Okay, there he is with the jacket on, pistol in hand, ready to blow someone's brains out. All right, and that looks pretty badass to me. Okay, but a little bit gutted it didn't come with more guns, but you know, if we've been doing this for a while, we'll have a pretty big gun collection accumulated from all of our other figures in our collection that have guns too, especially with Mezco. So yeah, you know, if you wanted to do some armory scenes of him tooled up to the nines, you know, my guess is you're not going to be short of guns. So you know, him not coming with many isn't a massive deal. So yeah, okay, and it looks like he can hold them all. And this is brilliant. Okay, absolutely brilliant. So that is everything. Oh, I think I've got one last thing to go. Obviously, with all these loose bits, you're more than likely going to lose them, so I highly advise you use these. I will be, as my floor eats them up all the time. So you get your little goodie bag there, and then of course we get his display stand and clip. Not many people use these. I don't, but it's still nice. So we get a nice logo there. And of course that can come out, that can go in, and you can stand them up, which is pretty nice. Okay, so that is everything that he comes with. Now let's see how he moves. So moving on to articulation, and before we get into the full range, I just wanted to show you what kind of range he had with the coat on, especially in the arms. So with the arms and the coat, you know, nothing's hindered. You can bring them fully up like that. Okay, he does have a double, I think that's a double, pretty much a double in the elbow, and that's not hindered at all. You can get them pretty close in, more than 90, 100%. Okay, they can come up about that far, so pretty high. Okay, as you know, they can come out, and that's the same for both. So the coat doesn't hinder the arms much whatsoever, which is awesome. Okay, so give me a moment, I'll take the coat off, and then we can go into the full range. Okay, now that we've got the coat off, let's begin with the full range of articulation. Now obviously with the head and neck being on one piece, he doesn't have much down. That's pretty much as low as he can look. Back is about that much unless you're leaning back. Okay, so that's pretty much it when it comes to forward and back on the head. You can obviously look left, right, full 360, and there's a little bit of a tilt. Okay, but that is it when it comes to the head. Obviously without the coat on, you are not hindered whatsoever. You've got upper bicep swivel, shoulders can come out and go up pretty far. There you go. Because this is elastic in material, it has a lot of give, and actually you're not hindered there at all. Upper biceps, is there an upper bicep swivel? No, I lied, apologies, there is no upper bicep swivel, but he can turn on the shoulder. Okay, so no upper bicep, but he does have it on the shoulder. Elbows can come in, as you saw in the coat, about that much. And there is a swivel at the elbow. Okay, and then of course we have hinge and swivel at the wrist, just there. All right, now with the body armor, you are hindered slightly. Let's sort his arm out. There you go, you are hindered slightly on the ab crunch. There is some there, but you are hindered massively. It won't crunch at all, but you do have some nice swivel going on. All right, for the legs, not the best Van Damme, but at the end of the day, he was never a, you know, acrobatical martial artist like Daredevil. He was always more of a ground and pound military combat guy when it came to fighting. So you're not going to see him do some triple axel spin kicks and shit. All right, so even though that is the amount of spread he's got, it will do for him. Up we go, and there you go. There's a good, good front extension there. Not bad. And you can come back quite far actually. And we have, I believe that's a single joint. No, we have a double. There you go, full on double at the knee. Okay, and that is for both. And then of course with the boot we have some excellent rocker action. Great down, not much up, but quite a good range even with a boot cut. All right, so there you have it. That is how well this dude can move. Let's get that off. All right, so posing, you should be good, especially for the kind of poses you're going to get him in, which is, you know, some awesome gun ballet and blasting people's heads off, and some punchy with Daredevil shots, no doubt. But yeah, with that, let's have a look and see how he stacks up against some other figures. Moving on to some size comparisons, and here he is next to the Mezco Marvel Comics Blade and the Mezco Marvel Comics Deadpool. And seeing as my Marvel Legends Netflix Daredevil broke on me recently, unfortunately I can't compare him up against next to that, but he was pretty much the same size as my Marvel Legends Avengers Endgame Custom Captain America and my Marvel Legends Avengers Endgame Thor. Obviously Thor is way too big in this comparison, that's Marvel Legends for you. But yeah, to give you an idea of what he would be like next to a Daredevil, as he pretty much is the same size as Captain America. And lastly, here he is next to the Mafex John Wick and the Mafex Spider-Man Homecoming Spider-Man. Okay, final thoughts on this guy, and like I said before earlier in the video, you need to get on him ASAP. This is definitely one for your collection, especially if you're a Mezco collector or a Punisher collector. We only got a limited number into the UK. Retailers could only really fulfill the amount of pre-orders that were allocated, so you might get lucky. If not, you might have to just chance it on the secondary market, but it will be worth it. This is a fantastic figure. Everything works well. The coat, the head sculpt, everything. My only gripe is that I wish it came with more guns, but it's not a big issue. So if you're a toy photographer or a display collector and a Punisher fan to boot, this guy's an absolute must. He'll fit right in with your collection and pop every single photo that you take. Alright peeps, that is it from me. I need a cup of tea. Thanks so much for watching, hope you enjoyed it. If you could hit the like button on the way out from this video, that would be great, and give the channel a sub if you fancy it. Really appreciate it if you would. And also I am on Instagram and Facebook at Project Piper Customs. Definitely head on over there to see my latest work and latest custom projects. If you're on Facebook, definitely check out Articulated Comic Book Art and Toy Comics Inc. for awesome toy photography, and head on over to Plastic Action UK for the latest reviews and news, and the YouTube channel for some custom tutorials on prop making, dial making and toy photography tips. Head on over to the website as we've just dropped our new Artist of the Week, Aliska. awesome person and a great interview. And that is it. That's all the plugs. Thanks again, guys. Hope you have a good one. One batch, two batch, penny and dime. I'm out. See you later.